Hi folks, and welcome to this video tutorial. So this question is from the 2019 Leaving Cert Ordinary Level exam paper, and it's section A, question 2. It's a perspective question, so let's have a look at the actual question. The image below shows a coffee machine. The drawing on the right shows a plan, which is this here, and the partially completed perspective view, which is this here, of the main body of a similar coffee machine. So we have the main body of a similar coffee machine. Complete the perspective view. So with these questions, it's very important to actually use the image that's given to us and try and figure out what's what. So here you can see we have a base, we have a back section, and we have a top section. And it can be good practice to actually find out what's what in the actual plan here. So you can see from here to here is the base section. From here to here is our back section. And from here to here is the top section as well. Now, with a perspective question, there's a number of abbreviations here. So you can see here we have PP, which is picture plane. We have S, which is the spectator point. We have GL, which is the ground line. And we have VP1 and VP2, which are the vanishing points. Now, the basics of this question is ultimately what we do here is we join a line from S to a corresponding corner up here in plan, and wherever that line crosses our picture plane, we bring it back down to our perspective view. So I'm going to make a start, and I suppose before I make a start, it's very important to note that each point in the perspective view goes back to vanishing point 1 and vanishing point 2. So for example, this point here goes back to VP1 and VP2, and we're going to use that basis to actually make a start in the question. So I'm going to start off maybe with this point here, and you can see it's already gone back to VP2, so I'm going to join this back to VP1. Okay, so back to VP1. Now, I suppose the next question is how far back this line goes. Now, remember, this is our top section here. So pretty much this section here. And our top section is, I suppose, these points here. Now, we already have the backs. Well, we haven't got the back section, but we don't need it. But we need to find out how far the front goes up. So this point here is going to be the magic point we're going to use. So I'm going to join that back to S. And wherever that line passes my picture plane, that's the point we're going to bring down. So that point there, I'm going to bring it down, and that's going to help us find out how far this line goes up. Now this point is going to come down parallel to an existing line there. Now I'm going to use sliding set squares. So I'm going to bring up one set square. The first set square, I'm going to bring it up in line with the line there, like so. I'm going to bring up my second set square, which is this one here, and I'm going to slide it down so it's parallel. Now, it can be good practice just to put in a little bit of an arrowhead there to highlight the actual line there, and you can see that's going to help us decide how far that goes. So I'm going to join this back up to here where that line came down. I can do that here as well, and I can join that down there like so. So that is now my top section done there. I suppose based on the part or the point that each point goes back to a vanishing point, I'm going to maybe start with this point here. So this point has gone back to vanishing point 1, and I'm going to bring that to vanishing point 2, or vanishing point 1, sorry. So you can see that our back section is in here now, and I need to find out how far that back section goes up. So this is our back section here. I can join that up to S, and again, where that point crosses the picture plane, PP. And again, it's good practice to actually highlight it there a good bit. We're going to bring that point down there now. So I'm going to use again, sliding set square. Again, I'm going to offer up a set square, bring up a second set square, and I'm going to slide that down. I will put an arrowhead in there like so, and that's going to help us with this point here. So you can see that that point there is going to help us decide where the back section goes. And the front section there now, I can actually bring up the front section up as far as there. And again, remember, each point goes back to a vanishing point, so that point has already gone back up. I can join that back up to vanishing point 2, and ultimately that is that question completed there. I just need to highlight a few more lines so it stands out. I can highlight that line there, and I can highlight that line there as well. Okay, so that is that question finished. Few key points. Highlight these dots there, make sure they're very obvious, and have arrowheads coming down there. Final thing then is, if you have a colouring pencil, use your colouring pencil to shade it in. Why? Because it shows your examiner that the question is fully finished. It shows the examiner that you've had time to actually shade in the actual question. And 9 times out of 10 is, if you have it shaded in, it shows the question is fully complete.